And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer, right across from St. Joseph's College. It's our weekly edition of the Coach's Kage show on 3kgthecage.com. You can catch us on Facebook at that same page or on our website at 3kgthecage.com and hear all what your favorite coaches have to say about last week's games and look ahead to Friday night. Kicking things off, we got to get this guy out of here because he's got an obligation here in another 45 minutes or so. Chris Meeks from the Rensselaer Central Bombers. Chris, good evening. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing really well. Let's talk about last week, score, and take us through the game.
Yeah. Well, before I do that, I think you'll get a kick out of this. So I found out last week my aunt out in Arizona is watching.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I told her I'd give her a shout out hi tonight.
There you go.
Yep. All the way out in Scottsdale.
Great.
But we had a heck of a game. Came up on the short end of the stick.
You played at Western, right?
Played at Western, and a 4A school. They were runner-up in the conference last year. 70 guys, big, physical, athletic, and everything that we saw on film they were. But it was a heck of a game. When you look at the final score, it ended up being Western 33, Rensselaer 20, but that is so deceiving. We were actually tied in the fourth quarter, going into the fourth quarter. They took the lead with about 6 minutes to go, and then we were driving down for potentially the winning touchdown. Unfortunately, we had a turnover inside the 40, and then from there, we had to gamble to try to get the ball back, and they were able to bust loose on a long run. So it was a heck of a game. Our kids fought hard. It was I thought a well-played Hoosier Conference game, and we just came up on the short end of the stick.
Who played well for you?
I'll tell you what. We had several guys play well, but offensively, Diego Hernandez-Reyes from his running back position, just multifaceted. He rushed for 138 yards. He had 28 yards receiving. He had 34 yards passing. And then he also had a 78-yard punt return for a touchdown to start the game for us, start our scoring. So he had a tremendous game. Cohen Westfall, again, he was 7 for 13 passing for 103 yards and a touchdown, but he had probably 3 or 4 drops where he just laid the ball perfectly out there, and we just didn't handle it. All right, but he played well. Aaron Barco, again from his wing position, he can run the ball, he can catch the ball. This particular night, he had 76 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns, so he had a tremendous game. And then defensively, Adam Ayler, Caden Doyle, those guys led us with 7 tackles apiece. So, to go on the road an hour and a half against a high-quality opponent like that, I'm pleased with the way we played, but obviously disappointed that we lost the game.
So what do you take from this game?
That we can play with these. I mean, they're an established team. They've got a lot of guys back from last year. They're big, physical up front. We can play with those teams. We're young at several spots and experienced at several spots, but I think we gained a lot in terms of experience and playing against top-notch competition like that. And moving forward, we're going to be seeing a lot more teams like that. Probably not as big and physical as Western, but in terms of the athleticism and the football mentality that they bring to the table, we'll be seeing that next several weeks.
Big week this week, and Hoosier Conference action starts Friday night, and it's homecoming week. So tell us what's going on there.
It is. So it's homecoming week, and our school does a tremendous job of having spirit days and getting all the kids involved in different things and stuff. We used to have our parades on Thursday night, but unfortunately a lot of soccer teams and tennis teams and volleyball couldn't participate. So we moved it to Wednesday night where everybody can participate, and I think that's better for our school. So it's tonight. We'll have a big parade and bonfire, and we'll get fired up for the Twin Lakes Indians. Twin Lakes is coached by Kevin O'Shea. And
really?
Yes. Kevin O'Shea, longtime coach in the Lafayette area.
You've coached against him a few times, haven't you?
Coached against him several times. Yeah. Hall of Fame coach, tremendous X's and O's coach, and excellent motivator. Actually was the head coach of Central Catholic when we beat him in the semi-state back in 2014. So we have a great rivalry with him himself. But he comes to Twin Lakes and has really brought some great things to their program. We've watched him on film 3 games, so we can see already what he's brought in terms of his passing game and just his, like I said, his X's and O's and putting guys in good position to be successful. So it's going to be a tough game. It's a tremendous rivalry. It's homecoming, so it's a big game for us. Not only from the aspect it's homecoming, but it's our first in-division conference game.
Tell us about the keys to beating Twin Lakes Friday night.
Yeah, we got to keep their athletes in check. So what they're going to do is they got a quarterback that can throw, he can run. So, we got to keep him in check. They've got some receivers that do a nice job of getting open. So they've got a nice short passing game. They've got a long ball threat. But also, too, if you blitz them, they're going to screen you to death. All right, so they're going to do a lot of things to keep you off balance. They're capable of running the ball as well. So we got to mix our defenses up. Not let this quarterback get comfortable. He has looked good his first 3 games, so we got to make sure that he's uncomfortable and put pressure on him and control their passing game. And then defensively, they're going to be very aggressive. Steve Snyder, longtime defensive coach there, and Rensselaer grad. He's played against us several times, so I think they know what we're going to try to do. So, again, we've got to be innovative with what we try to do offensively. So, we're going to run the ball, obviously. We're going to make some play-action pass in there and hopefully can exploit some things that they show that they've done defensively.
You're at the 1/3 poll for the season. Assess where the Bombers stand 3 games in.
Well, we're 2-1. So obviously we'd like to be 3-0, and we weren't far from it last week, but we just weren't quite good enough to get over that hump. So that's been the focus, being disciplined. When you look back to last week, I can't say we should have won the game, but we could have won the game. And when you look at the film, we were undisciplined. So, like, for instance, their first touchdown was a 59-yard touchdown run. Well, we can live with a 5 or 6 yard run. We can't live with a 59-yard run.
Right.
And when you look at why it was a 59-yard run, we had guys out of position. We had guys that over-pursued, over-penetrated.
Not blocked out of position, but just out of position.
Yeah.
Or both.
Well, both. I mean, there's things we can do with our pad level and things like that, but we also hurt ourselves by taking ourselves and making ourselves be out of position. So if we're a linebacker and play goes away, backside linebacker has to check to the middle and watch for counters, and that's what they scored on was a counter. So we got to make sure we stay at home, trust our other teammates to make the play on that play side, all right? And unfortunately, we didn't do that. And, there's a few other things. Like right before halftime, they scored on an 18-yard touchdown pass. We had 3 guys in the area. We just didn't make an attempt to knock it down. And in retrospect, when we go back and watch, we actually were pretty well in place to defend it. We just didn't make the play. So those are things that I think come with experience. We watch film and we do a lot of film study, and hopefully it'll be better this week.
All right. Then younger Bombers, give us a report on them.
Yeah, our middle school went to Twin Lakes, took one on the chin against a very good Twin Lakes team, 7th grade and 8th grade. And then our JV played Western on Saturday. So we made the track over there varsity on Friday, and then they had to come over and play at 9 o'clock in the morning Saturday. And what a tremendous game. And, we've got a few injuries like everybody, so we were a little short-handed on the JV. But it ended up being a 28-26 game. It came down to a 2-point conversion. We ended up losing. But, again, our kids played hard. They played great. And, eventually those type of wins will come. But, again, that's a 4A quality opponent. And they have a tremendous program, and it's only going to help us get better.
Before I let you go, you have a special camp this Saturday, right?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So Saturday is our annual Back in Black camp. So that's for ages 4 years old to 5th grade, and it's for boys and girls. And girls like it just as much as the boys do. And it's a fun camp. So we'll have our varsity kids working with the individual kids. So we'll take the 4-year-olds, put them together, 5-year-olds together. 5th graders will be alone in their group.
Can you still sign up, or is this sign up over?
All sign up is that night.
Oh, that night.
Yep.
Okay.
So it starts at 6 o'clock at the high school field. We'll start taking registrations at 5:30. We'll have 2 tables going. We'll have all the paperwork. So just come, sign your child up. It's $20. And I know little cousin Jasper's going on too. So if you want to bring your child, drop them off. We'll take them for 2 hours, play some football, have some fun with them or her. And then you can come back and pick your child up and make it a great evening.
Flag football still going on, or has it gone on yet?
Flag football starts Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
Yep, but we're finally getting into some football weather, Bob.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I actually got a little chilly out there tonight when the clouds came out. But, yeah, it's fun, and it's hard to believe we're already a third of the way through the season.
9 games goes by in a hurry, doesn't it?
Sure does.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. I know you got to scoot,
Yeah.
so appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
All right,
okay?
hey, thank you.
Chris Meeks from the Rensselaer Central Bombers, back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3KG, right after this.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodeman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
Shanley Construction, Pools, and Excavating has been improving area homes and businesses since 1973. Whether residential or commercial, they offer lawn care, installation of above-ground and in-ground pools, plus pole barn and new home construction. Shanley is your source for new driveways, parking lot expansions, as well as fence row and building site clearing. Start your project by calling Jim Shanley at 219-866-5955. Shanley, Rensselaer-based, family-owned. Call today.
And Scotty Miller back with you on the Coach's Cage show on 3KGthecage.com. If you can't make it live and watch the gang here live, you can catch it on replay anytime after the show is over with. Just go to our webpage at 3KGthecage.com and you'll be able to view your favorite coach, what they have to say about the last week's game and ahead to this week's contest. So Brad Beavis has stepped in for the South Newton Rebels. Always nice when you win on the road. Always nice when you win, period, but on the road, that's even better, isn't it?
Yes, makes that bus ride home for an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes at midnight.
Yeah.
A lot better. We didn't get home to 12:30 last Friday, so Saturday
you went
morning.
To Fishers,
Illinois, which is just north of Champaign, basically, right across from Rantoul. So it wasn't too bad. You know, it took us about an hour and 35 to get over. Went down there, nice facility, much improved team. They didn't win a game last year. Had about 38, 40 kids out, so much improved program. And, we had a well of a game, 38-31. So
Take us through it.
Yeah, we started off a little bit slow, just wasn't clicking. Offensively, just, moved ball a little bit, but then we'd make some mistakes, either holding calls or, missed blocks, stuff like that, misreads. And just didn't look very good at all. And then kind of went into halftime. We went down by a score, came out in the second half, and had officially a 98-yard drive with a 1-yard loss in the first play of that series. So we actually went 99 yards positive.
Have you ever done that before in your coaching career?
I don't remember ever doing it. Back whenever I was running the double wing, we liked to do that stuff where we ran out the clock, but I don't remember ever going that far. So that was the first for me, going 98 yards. And
wow.
I don't think our kids realized how impressive that really is.
How much time did you eat up on the clock?
We had about 6 and some change left over when we gave them back the ball. So it was a long, methodical drive, and it was it wasn't a big strike. It was down. I don't know how many plays it was, but it was methodical. We got a little bit of help in the middle of it with a penalty that gave us a first down. We converted 1 4th down that probably wasn't supposed to run. Our quarterback, we kind of changed our mind, and he went ahead and read the play, and it worked out good. So Coach Stern looked like a genius on that one, converting that one. But
it's a coach's dream, isn't it, to have a run like
it is, and just
drive
like I said,
like that?
Yeah, and just methodical. If you had a big strike, it's one thing, but to sit there and you had to run 10, 12 plays, that's huge. And then we get into the fourth quarter.
So what was the score at the end of 3?
At the end of 3, it was 16 to 14, I think.
In favor of
us. We had the lead. And then we gave up 18 points in the fourth quarter, but we scored 22. So
wow.
We came out on top there. We had a big turnaround, went down and scored. And then
I assume you got behind at one point.
Yep, we got behind. It was back and forth. So we scored to go ahead, and they ended up having to go for it on 4th down, ran a fake punt, and Evan came out of his center field position there and snagged the ball for a touchdown. We went down and scored again. So at that point, we were up by 2 scores. And we had it in hand. They scored one late to bring it back then to score. But we had a 2-score touchdown lead with 3 or 4 minutes to go. So we're in good shape.
Who played well for you?
Well, we were led by Evan. Had about 250 yards all-purpose. Had 116 yards rushing with 4 touchdowns, and had 225 yards of passing yards. So I guess 350. Sorry, math teacher.
That's still pretty good.
Can't add. We had a big runs, and Evan would just finish them off. So we threw a lot of screens. They were, giving a lot of pressure on us. So we threw to David Van Wienen, who had about 65 yards. And in the screen game, he's a big old kid, and he just didn't have enough speed, I guess, to get away to the goal line a couple times. And so Evan had to finish it off, and I think Lucas came up short once on a long run. So Evan kind of finished those with off short ones. But
it's good that you can score from short range.
Yep.
Some teams have trouble doing that.
Yeah, Evan's elusive, and we got Van Wienen back there, who's a big converted guard or center from last year, but he's kind of that guard type where he can move. So he's a good lead blocker, and Lucas Paguski is a very physical kid, small kid, but very physical kid. So we got a lot of power behind him, and are in front of Evan when we do those types of runs. And of course we have our option game down there, so we can kind of put some people in bind. So yeah, just be able to score is good in short situations. We really haven't had much trouble all year, so hopefully that continues for us.
You get everybody you want to get in on the.
Well, like I said, Lucas had 110 yards of receiving himself. A couple big plays in the fourth quarter to spring us loose. He had a big fourth down reception in the fourth quarter that I think was in 4th and 15. And we threw one up to him, and he got the ball. So that was pretty big for us. So he played pretty well. Offensive line improved a little bit. We got some guys out blocking our screen game. So that was nice to see. And then defensively, moved some guys around. And, Cade Martin had a heck of a game off the edge. And I thought Sean McCoss moved down to an outside linebacker, had a good game. Lucas playing outside linebacker had a good game. So kind of sprinkled in there on defense is a little more by committee on that side of the ball. But we're getting a little bit better on both sides, and our lines are playing a little better. A couple weeks ago I told you that was kind of a concern. So all that stuff's kind of stretching and becoming a little better for us.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Now we got you're 2-1 on the year, right?
2-1.
Through the third part of the season.
Yep.
Where do you assess your team with?
We're in good shape. We're getting ready to go into conference play, so we'll see where we're at with that. we're growing. Obviously, you'd always want to be a little bit better, but I thought week 1 we played really well. I have some deficiencies, but played well. Week 2 we kind of got exposed a little bit, got humbled, bounced back week 3 and made some ground up. So hopefully this week we can make some more ground up and just get ready. And it's a conference game. It's a rivalry game this week against North Newton. So we need our best effort and our best focus.
Tell us what you know about North Newton.
They're struggling a little bit. They haven't scored a lot, but they played a couple of teams off the bat that were very physical. They played Carroll, who's they're going to make a run in the state tournament, I think, and they played Rensselaer, of course, the bigger school, and just physical. So they kind of got wore down the first couple of weeks as they're learning their new system. They played Lake Station last week, which we played week 1, and that score surprised me a little bit. But they're going to be up and ready to play us. It's always a tough game, and it's your county rival. You're going to have emotions to start, and if you don't match those emotions, you're going to have trouble. So we just got to go out there and play our game and do what we can do, and hopefully we can take care of business and get a comfortable lead and pull off our first win in conference and our 3rd win on the season.
Yeah, you usually used to playing them the first week, and now
it is a little different.
The 4th. Yeah, it is a little bit. What about your youth football? You started flag football or have
flag
started?
Football. Yeah, we played our first official games last week.
How's that going?
We have 70 kids signed up.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, we keep on growing.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a great thing for our football community, we do it on our football field, so we separate lengthwise in the football field to sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
And we got them from one end zone to the other end zone. Parents get to sit out there in between some of the fields. We have
That's
space.
cool.
And
what night of the week do they play on?
We play on Thursday.
Thursday?
So we do 6 Thursdays. We had to cancel one because of the heat, so I don't know if we're going to be able to make that up or not. But
right.
6 weeks long, we played 5 games. And
just to introduce them to football, that's got to be
introduce the football and get around. And
major plus.
Yeah, the little kids, the kindergarten, first graders, they only run the ball. The 4th and 5th graders can only throw the ball. So it's complete 7-on-7, and then the middle groups can kind of do a little bit of in between. And
I see.
So we kind of try to work on certain skills at certain levels, and we're still trying to figure it out. It's our 3rd year doing it, so we're still in the infancy of our punt, but it's growing. Our parents love it. I think the kids love it, and it's nice that the elementary kids, and they see our high school players, they point them out. That's my coach. That's my coach.
Sure.
So that's kind of cool to see, and we're actually going to have them invited to the game this Friday, and they'll get introduced before the game starts.
How cool is that?
Yep.
That's you're going in the right direction there. That's for sure.
Sure. And then middle school started. They're 2 games in and 2-0, so they're looking pretty good. 2 pretty convincing wins. So everything's right now is looking good on the Rebel football front. So
Brad, good luck Friday night, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Brad Beavis from the South Newton Rebels. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
24/7 Club Fit is a 24-hour keycard accessed fitness center located in downtown Rensselaer. The 8,000 square foot facility offers free weights, weight machines, and a large variety of cardio equipment. We also offer free aerobics classes. 24/7 Club Fit offers 6-month contracts, starting as low as $25 per month for students. Those 55 years and older, and there are no sign-up or keycard fees. We also participate in the Silver Sneakers program. Call 219-866-0033 or contact us on Facebook. 24/7 Club Fit, where time is no excuse.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller back with you on the Coach's Cage Show on 3kgthecage.com. If you can't catch us live, just go to our webpage, 3kgthecage.com, anytime afterwards, and watch and listen to your favorite coach talk about the previous games and the week ahead games for Friday night. Jake West from the Tri-County Cavaliers have joined us, and Jake, we were there last Friday and got off to a horrible start against West Central, and didn't get any better after that, did it?
No, and I mean, one thing we talk about with the kids, you have to remember there's a human element to all sports.
Right.
You know, you come out the gate, you have to defend like a 15-play drive. You know, they were methodical. We had a few chances to get off the field. I think they had 2 fourth-down conversions on that drive, if I remember correctly, and we just couldn't quite make the play. And, you know, they go down, they score, then they kick it off. We get a decent return, and then we fumble the ball, and then they go right back down and do the same thing again. It's, you know, suddenly you're down, I think, 14-0. You've got a turnover. You haven't ran a snap of offense yet. There's 2 minutes left in the quarter. And
you're down 14-9.
Yeah, it's like you can't really schedule a worse start to the game.
And that affects you mentally, too,
doesn't
it?
It does, because like I said, there's a human element to it. It's you're sitting there like, okay, we can't quite get a stop. We're getting wailed on up front. You know, they're controlling the ball. They're moving the chains. And we haven't even had a chance to answer back, really. So it takes a toll on you mentally, and that's part of the game. That's why that brand of football was so successful for so long. You'd get the Oklahomas and the Texases of the world who would just line up and they say, hey, we're going to run the ball in the B gap. Good luck. And then it worked for them for a long time. Just
execute, right?
Yeah, just execute.
That's a key word for you.
Execute, baby. It's the only thing that matters.
So when you're down by that minute at halftime, you're at the mercy rule at halftime. Well, what do you say to your team? What do you try for the second half?
My thing has always been you want to get something positive and you want to build off of something going forwards. Like I told our JV, I was like, I love you guys. I want you guys to get reps. But right now we obviously have some things that we have to solve at the varsity level. You guys have JV time. You have games and stuff like that. Like you'll have time to get your reps in, absolutely. I want you to get reps in games. The problem is like right now we have to take care of our own business. If it was, a 35-21 game, obviously the varsity would still be out there trying to finish it off, but it's like you want to finish on a high note. And they said they understood. So, varsity stayed out there. We ended up driving down the field, and we drove down the field 3 times in the second half. First 2 ended in turnovers, and the third one we finally scored on. Just again, lack of execution.
Anybody play well for you Friday night?
Yeah, a few people played well. Kobe Baylor was our player of the game. I thought he played well on both sides of the ball. He made some good decisions throwing the ball. The one pick he got hit as he was throwing. It's always one of the things that we talked about in college. Sometimes you're going to throw an interception. Is that interception a bad interception, or is it one where it's not really your fault? So like Kobe threw 2 this year where it was the end of the half. We're trying to throw the ball down the field and give ourselves a shot at points. Okay. And then that one he got hit on the arm as he was throwing. The ball kind of popped out, and it was a blown protection on the right side.
No, I know he got hit returning the kickoff. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He got basically smoked in the shin. And just imagine you kick the table with your shin at 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, that hurts.
That's not a pleasant sensation.
No.
So he was fine. It just it hurt like no other there for a hot minute. So he was fine.
Anybody else?
No, everyone else is fine. We had some bumps and bruises.
Playing well.
Oh, that played well? I thought we were talking about injuries still. No, that played well.
And now we're moving on.
That's about the list, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I thought like I said, Kobe played well. I thought Noah Pratt had a decent game. He competed well. up front, or not up front, but playing out wide at corner and DB. Aiden Donovan had a few catches. He's coming along. He's starting to build a little bit of a rapport as well with Kobe on the backside. Anthony McFadden had a few really nice returns, setting us up with some good field position. So I thought they played well.
Still need to catch the ball, though, don't you?
Still need to catch the ball. We're getting better. That was our highest completion percentage in a game all year. I'm
tracking upwards.
It's tracking upwards. It was right around 50%. So actually, it was over 50% because we were 8 of 15. So we're getting there. It's progress.
That is.
Next week we're going to shoot for 60%. I don't want to
right.
get ahead of myself, but we're getting there.
Okay, you're 3 games in.
Yeah.
A third of the season's done. Where's Tri-County football at right now?
We're not quite where we want to be. We set the goal at the beginning of the year to compete for winning a conference title. All of our goals are objectively still in front of us. Obviously we have to take care of business versus North White. And then we need, North White to upset West Central to force a 3-way tie there and then handle the rest of our games. But if we take care of business, it's still a really good shot that it could happen. So that's kind of our mindset right now is go 1-0 every week, take care of our business, and put ourselves in a chance to compete and tie for a conference title.
We've been focused on practice this week.
This is going to shock you. Can you guess?
Execution.
On what situations?
Offense.
Yes, offense, yeah. Third down and red zone. Third down and red zone is always the goal. So we do this thing where we'll say, hey, it is 3rd and 1. So we spot the ball, it's 3rd and 1, get a first down. If you don't get a first down, you run. Okay, it's 3rd and 2.
Pretty good incentive.
It's 3rd and 2. And as we start on, it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. The kids are getting the first downs. Like, man, this is pretty easy. I'm like, I know it is. And suddenly it's 3rd and 5. And they're like, all right, well, now they get 6 yards. And then it's 3rd and 6. And they're like, all right, well, now they get 4 yards. And they're like, oh, we failed. Like, because converting 3rd and 6 is hard to do consistently. And then they go, okay. And then we back it up to 3rd and 7. And then it's 3rd and 8. And it's 3rd and 9. Now all of a sudden they're not converting them as much. And they're like, man, it's a lot harder. Yeah, so where do you think we want to be? 3rd and short.
Right.
Yeah, stay ahead of the sticks. And, today was red zone day. And, so we facilitated a little extra adversity for them. I might have called a few phantom penalties in there to kind of set them back. And our running back, Jonathan Pearson, was not a fan because he had like 4 touchdowns in the red zone period. And I was like, oh, block in the back, bring it back. Oh, false start, bring it back. Just constantly. And he's like, you've got to be kidding me. But no, it was good fun. It teaches them to battle through adversity. You're going to find yourself in a situation in a game where it's 3rd and goal from the 12. That's a terrible spot to be. You don't have a lot of play calls for that situation.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
All right. This week's opponents, who do you play, where do you play, and give us a scouting report.
Well, we play North White at North White. It's their homecoming. They've got a physical team. They've got some large bodies. They have a couple of really, really capable I know he plays tight end, but they use him a little bit like a running back. So they have a couple of capable running backs in the DeBoer, I think is his name, and the Hunt kid. They're both very serviceable with the ball, but really they live or die with their quarterback, Eli Quaysbarth. They are not afraid to run him right, left, up the middle, back, forward. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, wherever. That's where it's going. So defensively, they're physical. They're aggressive. I'm pretty sure Jim Davis still coaches their defense, and he's been around he's coached football for longer than I've been alive.
Yeah,
so
no kidding. I'm going to ask you this. I know your answer, but you got to tell the viewers what the keys are.
The keys are who can win 3rd down and red zone. It'll be that every
you
single
just say
week.
that every week.
Every week. I'll sound like a broken record.
I'll ask it every week.
Every week. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, I tell kids that really football isn't a complicated game. It really is. We make it complicated, but it's really not. If you can control time of possession, you can stay ahead of the sticks, win 3rd down, convert in the red zone, and then stop the other team from doing those things, you're probably going to win most of your games. I mean, I have a hard time finding a team that can do those things and not win consistently. I'm still looking, but it's telling us, so stay ahead of the sticks, run the ball well, complete passes when you have to, convert 3rd downs, convert in the red zone. It's a pretty simple game.
Yep. Just tackle the guy at the ball, too.
Yeah, see-ball. As a defensive coordinator, I always got mad when OCs would walk in and be like, see-ball, get ball, your job's easy. And I'm like, no, you got to run this cross-dog stunt here, and you got to do this. You got to drop the end. And they're like, no, just see-ball, get ball.
Jake, you make it simple. I like it.
I try to keep it simple, baby. That's all.
Good luck, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. Jake West from the Tri-County Cavaliers. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3KG, thecage.com right after this.
Anders Water Conditioning in downtown Rensselaer is here for all of your water supplies and softening needs. At Anders, we sell and rent water softeners, water coolers, and have all of your bottled water and salt needs too. Call Chuck to set up your consultation today. 219-866-7430. Anders Water Conditioning, family owned since 1991.
Shanley Construction, Pools, and Excavating has been improving area homes and businesses since 1973. Whether residential or commercial, they offer lawn care, installation of above-ground and in-ground pools, plus pole barn and new home construction. Shanley is your source for new driveways, parking lot expansions, as well as fence row and building site clearing. Start your project by calling Jim Shanley at 219-866-5955. Shanley, Rensselaer-based, family-owned. Call today.
If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Masters to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to go to satisfy your hunger needs. Takeout is also available by calling the Wagon Wheel at 219-866-9942.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student-athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Reinforcements Designs is a full-service graphic design, screen printing, and sign shop. They offer logo designs, screen printing, banners, signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, airbrushing, vinyl letterings, digital printed graphics, freehand engraving, and more. 37 years of design and graphics, Reem Bontrager will help you come up with a customized project of your ideal or plan. Just ask. Give Reinforcements Design a call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller back with you on the Coach's Cage Show on 3KGTheCage.com. And we saw this gentleman's team go on the road in the Midwest Conference last Friday night in Wallop, Tri-County. Mark Hall from the West Central Trojans has joined us. Mark, a nice win at Tri-County. Give me the final score and take us through the game, if you would.
Yeah, we were able to win 42-8 on Friday night, which was a really nice showing for us. We were able to get everybody in the game, so that's even better when we can do that. So that's 2 weeks in a row we were able to do that. To start the game, we got the ball. They had won the toss and deferred, so we got the ball, and we went on a long drive and took it downfield and ended up scoring with Austin Bolin taking it into the end zone. And at that point, I think it was about halfway through the first quarter, and so we were up 8-0 at that point. Next kickoff, they get about a 10-yard return, then we were able to poke it out. We had one of our freshmen on the tackle, knocked it out. Nathan Peter did, and then Johnny Rao picked it up, and we were back in business. So took the ball down the field again, and were able to get another score. Jacob Plarski got his first 2 touchdowns on the night, and I think there's about 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and we're up 14-0, and they haven't ran a play.
They haven't ran a play. That's got to be the ultimate right there.
That was great for us to be able to do that. So it was just if you're drawing things up, how do you want it to look? Like, that's exactly what you want. You want to be on offense the entire time and just run at them, and we were able to do that. There were things we got to improve on there. We had some toss plays that we pulled around, and I think we could have done a lot better job of picking up people on our blocks as our linemen pull. But overall, it was a good first quarter. They ended up, I think, running like 3 plays before the end of it. So we're up 14-0 going into the second quarter, and we're able to stop them. They went for it on a 4th down. We were able to stop them, got the ball around midfield, and we just continued on with what we did in the first quarter. We went down the field and scored again. I believe that was Jacob Plarski's 2nd touchdown at that point, or either that or his Christian Hughes' catch. So one of those two. And then right after we scored, their very first play of offense, Blake Hughes was able to get pressure on the quarterback and knock the Tri-County lineman into their quarterback as he was throwing it, and Jacob Plarski intercepts it. So that was set us up for another quick score. And I think it was like a play or two later we score again. So it was kind of an interesting thing that you had the first quarter, we went down, scored, turnover, we go down and scored again. Same thing in the second quarter. We had a score, turnover, score quickly. So we're up at that point. It was 28-0, I believe, or 30-0, somewhere around there. And then we added in another score by Josiah Rodriguez late in that second quarter. So that put us up 36-0 at that point. Defense at that point playing great. Had already forced the 2 turnovers, one on the special teams, one on the interception. So things were going well there. Their running back, who had been having some great games, we were able to limit him on what he was able to do. So that was great as well. So first half was 36-0. Things were going really well, offensively, defensively. Nothing really to complain about. Like I said, there's a few things here and there we got to work on as far as blocking, but great first half for us. The second half starts, they get the ball, and they get a good return. They're out past midfield, and their first play, they hand it off to their running back there, and he gets his best gain of the game. It's about 11 yards or so, and then we poke the ball out, and we get another turnover. So we recover it deep in our own end zone, our own territory around the 15-yard line, and then we were able to go on a nice long drive again with a running clock. Makes it easier to go on those long drives, and we were able to get in one more time. We had a pass thrown to Austin Bolin in the flats, and he ended up turning the corner and had a great block by Josiah Rodriguez, and Spencer Lehman provided another block, and we were able to take it in. So that put us up 42-0 at that point, and then it was make sure everyone's in the game at some point in there, playing offense or defense, and getting some reps and experience.
What's it like? I never have asked any coaches. Since the mercy rule's in, you're ahead by 35 points by halftime or in the second half. It's a running clock. Do you change your coaching style, or how do you handle being up or down that many with a running clock?
For us, it's probably like that first possession. It depends how much it is. If it's just right at like that 35 or it's somewhere in there, that first possession, either offense or defense, we're probably going to keep the starters in just so they can keep getting some more of the reps, just because we got to make sure they're ready for later in the season.
Because you don't get that many snaps.
We don't. Yeah, there's not.
In running clock.
And so it's probably that first possession or so that they're going to get in there, and then after that point, then we're going to start make sure everyone else gets in somewhere. And then if you're down, and we've been there before, or we've been down on those, so it's let's try to make something positive. And it's maybe that first or second series, then start getting those younger guys in and let them get a piece of it, of what's going on. So it's just different ways to think about it. And some of it depends. Like, we're a small 1A school, so we don't have a whole lot, I guess, you can to choose from. If you're like a 5A, 6A team, like, you probably got a lot of guys that you probably try to shuffle in there.
Right.
So with us, we've got a lot of guys. A lot of those young guys, they do play special teams, so they are in there at some point during the game. But it is nice to get them offensively, defensively, get some reps of our stuff, because typically during the week, they're running all the scout stuff, so they don't get a whole lot of what do we do. So it's nice to get them in there and get them some of that experience.
Tell us who played well for you.
When you look at our stats, like, nobody jumps off the page at you and like, hey, they're doing a really good job. We are everyone's just all across the board balanced. Like, we had over 300 yards of offense again, and our top person had 60 yards.
That's good, though.
It is. Like, we had 2 guys in the 60s. We had rushing the ball. We had 2 guys in the 60s. We had a person in the 30s, a person in the 20s. Receiving, we had a person in the 50s, 2 people in the 30s. So the guys that are doing things are our same guys. It's Connor Marlatt, Jacob Plarski, Spencer Lehman, Austin Bolin, Josiah Rodriguez,
all
Christian
familiar
Hughes.
Names for West Central football.
It's all the guys that have been contributing all year. And one of the things I think we talked about last year is we were also very balanced, and it was a thing that none of them cared who was getting it.
That's wonderful.
And there was just, hey, we need to be successful, so whoever is its turn, that's who's going to do it. Like, it was with our option offense, there's some weeks that people try to take out the fullback. Okay, if they do that, then the quarterback's going to have a bigger night. If they try to take out the quarterback, probably the fullback's going to have a bigger night, or our wings are going to have a bigger night. So it's just one of the things.
Got a lot of options.
There's options there, and that's basically where we are this year. Is we're we're just very balanced. Like there's some teams that you go out there and look, and they've got guys that already have like 400 or 500 yards rushing after 3 games, if not more. Our leading rusher has maybe 190, but we've got 2 or 3 of them that are in that range. So it's one of those things that it's based a lot upon what offenses the people are running. But one of the craziest stats that we have is we are passing the ball at a pretty high clip now. We have 1 incompletion on the year, so we're like 98% completion on the year, and we've thrown for, I think it's like 400 yards already. So that's I think it might even be more than that.
A lot
so
of
pretty
yards after the catch.
There are a lot of yards after the catch, but as you saw, we did throw the ball downfield.
Yes.
So it wasn't just our little 2-inch passes.
That's
it was
true.
There were some downfield ones.
That's true. Defensively, who started?
Defensively, it's been, again, like the same type of guys. There's Dre Villarreal has had a great year so far the first 3 weeks, and he's doing a great job flowing downhill as a linebacker spot. And then up front, our defensive line is just, they're doing a good job plugging things up and making it easy for our linebackers with Jacob Plarski and Dre Villarreal to be able to run around there. So up front, we got Blake Hughes and Max Scholes are 2 defensive tackles. Then Austin Bolin and Christian Hughes are defensive ends. And then we rotate Zach Gilger in there at either defensive tackle or end. And those guys are just having good, solid years. None of them, if you look at like stat-wise, you're going to say, hey, they're popping off the page again. But it's everyone's doing what they're supposed to. Everyone's playing their role and doing exactly what they need to at the right time.
All right, you're a third of the season into the season. Where are the Trojans football team? Where are you at right now?
Right where we thought we should be able to be at. With what we had coming back, we felt pretty good going in the year that we should have another shot of getting after conference and maybe making a run in sectionals again. So 3-0 is where we thought we should be able to be at, and we're lucky enough that we're there right now. And we know that that can change real quickly. Well, 1A football, we're an injury away.
And you can't take anything for granted either.
And like this week, which are our second, third here, we've got Culver coming in, and
tell us about that.
That's a team that we've in the last few years since 2019. This will be now the 3rd time we've entered this game 3-0. The previous 2 times they've beaten us. So that's one of the things we've been on this week with the kids. Like Culver, typically their first 3 weeks are pretty rough. They've played Judson, South Central, and Knox. 2 of those teams are usually pretty solid teams with North Judson and Knox. So a lot of times they enter this game either at 1-2 or 0-3. And again, those 2 times that we've entered 3-0, they were 1-2 and they beat us. So we've been on the kids all week that it doesn't matter what their record is. It doesn't matter what they've looked like in film. Expect that they're going to come out with everything they have, because the other part of this is last time we beat them was 2014. There's been 9 straight games, including playoffs or the sectionals, that they've beaten us. So we got to make sure that we are ready, that we're prepared, and doing everything that we are capable of to make sure that Friday night we have a good outcome for us.
How about the younger Trojan football squads? The middle schools?
Yeah, middle school. They played a game last night. They played a game last week, played a game last night. Last week they lost to South Newton. Last night they were able to beat Tri-County. They beat them 34-0, so that was a nice win for them. So they're currently sitting at 1-1. We have the youth league that started this year that I think I told you about.
Beautiful.
A few weeks ago. So in our youth league, we've got K through 2 is flag football, and then 3rd and 4th grade is together playing tackle, and then 5th and 6th grade is together playing tackle. And I believe the 5th and 6th grade has only had 1 game so far, but they won that one. I think the 3rd and 4th grade has played Monticello 2 times. So the Monticello guys, they've been doing it for a lot longer than we have, and we lost both those with the 3rd and 4th graders, but the 5th and 6th grade has done very well, and then the K through 2 has also, I think, won at least one, if not both, the ones they were in. So
get the interest up for West Central football early.
We've got in that 3rd through 6th grade, there's 49 kids.
Holy cow.
They're playing tackle football, which is excellent to see. So
if
we can keep numbers like that all the way to high school, like it's going to be huge for us. And it is. Like people have asked, like, hey, what was different about last year, and then so far what we're doing this year? Well, we had some back-to-back grades where there were 8 to 10 guys in there that they stuck with it, and so now you're starting to see that change. Like there's been time periods before where we've had kids maybe that we started with 8 to 10 and as freshmen, but then by the time we're the senior, we only have like 4. Right? But we've had 2 classes here that they've stuck it out, and you're starting to see that they're changed things. And now people are, hey, football is a good thing to go do. So we're getting numbers. We've been right around 30 the last 2 years. So hopefully we can continue to grow numbers and keep the interest up.
Mark, keep it going, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right. Mark Hall from the West Central Trojans. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Reinforcements Designs is a full-service graphic design, screen printing, and sign shop. They offer logo designs, screen printing, banners, signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, airbrushing, vinyl letterings, digital printed graphics, freehand engraving, and more. 37 years of design and graphics, Reem Bontrager will help you come up with a customized project of your ideal or plan. Just ask. Give Reinforcements Design a call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Coach's Cage Show. Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller with you tonight. Kirk Kennedy has stepped behind the microphone now to talk a little Kankakee Valley football. Kirk, good to see you again. How's it going?
Pretty good now that I got here. You know, all the
little obstacle coming
all the
from
detours, and you know, I'm so familiar with the area, so I always know where to go. Thank God I followed the right car all the way down here, because 231's pretty much shut down.
Now Rensselaer's going to be shut down in 7 minutes for the homecoming parade.
Well, but Mr. Gray sent the helicopter for me. So.
Oh, there you I knew it. KV's got all kinds of money there. To do that.
Oh, yeah.
KV football took on Andrean last week. Tell us the score and take us through the game.
It was the final score was 24-8. Started out,
Andrean was
Andrean won 24-8. It was up at Andrean, and you kind of head into a game like that. You kind of feel each other out a little bit, and that's what happened early, and we were kind of trading punches with them and playing pretty much even, exchanging punts. Well, our second punt was we gave up a block punt.
Uh-oh.
And it was about I think it was about the 40-yard line, and the kid that blocked it scooped and scored touchdown. So we gave up a block punt for a touchdown.
What happens on a block punt? Does somebody miss their assignment, or
this particular not to throw anybody under the bus, but this particular one, because you see it from the sideline and you see a kid go in untouched, and you think, a lot of things run through your mind. They had us outnumbered. They pulled some tricky scheme. They might have pulled us out and came in, whatever. And what happened was we had 3 guys. They had 3 guys. and our middle guy of the three blocked out instead. I mean, all we had to do was block it solid, 1, 2, 3.
Block it straight ahead.
And the one kid blocked out, so we had two guys blocking one man and nobody on the guy that came free, and it was just a breakdown in our protection. So we gave that up, and then obviously that's a big momentum swing.
Sure.
Because we didn't get a chance to exchange field position and put our defense out there. They got excited over that play, and at the half it was 17-0 at the half. They kicked it was about a 35-yard field goal towards the end of the first half, and our offense was moving the ball a little bit. We weren't going 3 and out all the time, but we were obviously shut out at the first half and relatively ineffective. So 17-0 at the half, and frustrated because you're fighting and competing, but still making those kind of mistakes that gives your opponents, like I said, the block punt and the one touchdown they had was a mistake in our coverage, and it was just one mistake after another that kind of led to some of the things Andrain was able to do. But second half, we more or less played them. It was it's 17-0, and the final score was 24-8. So
8-7.
Yeah. So we played them more or less toe to toe in the second half, which is kind of what we what we thought we could do anyway. It was just too little, too late. So our running game got going in the second half, and we were able to control the game a little bit, and our defense got some stops, and we competed the whole way through. We never quit. We never laid down. You didn't see our effort, tapering off. It was just one of those nights where we dug ourselves a big hole early, and just had to crawl out. And we competed. We fought hard the whole time. It was just ran out of time and too little, too late.
Anybody play well for you that night?
Well, again, hate to sound like a broken record, but Marco Castro is running the ball with authority. He had, I believe, like 100. I think it was 140 yards, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 28 carries, something like that. But he had a pretty good night. Defensively, I think our leading tackler, if I remember right, was Lane Zander. Now, Lane plays corner and safety for us, so you might think that's a bad thing, and you don't necessarily want your safety leading you in tackles.
Right.
But the way our scheme was that night, he was making some tackles close to the line of scrimmage and coming because they were throwing underneath a lot and getting the ball out on the perimeter, and anytime you tackle well on the perimeter, obviously that's you make them line up and snap the ball again, and because it's not necessarily completed passes that'll beat you, it's yards after the catch. So our secondary, on the night I think tackled pretty well, and didn't really give up a lot of yards after the catch. It's just like I said, they got behind us one time and they got a touchdown pass, and like I said, the block punt, just things that we look to ourselves for solutions.
You're a third of the season in. 3 games in out of 9. 1 and 2. Where are you at? Where's KV football at right at this point?
Well, you kind of analyze things. We have our meetings where we're going over things and talking to the kids and listening to the kids and just kind of getting some feedback from them and kind of reading their body language and their facial expressions and all that. I definitely believe in the fact that we're making progress. I think that they care. I mean, that might seem obvious, but I mean, anything substantial that you do in life that's presents any difficulty at all, you have to care.
Right.
And I think we care, which I don't think that's true everywhere.
Right.
So I think we care. We're learning how to compete and compete for 4 quarters. Now we need to learn how to compete, smart and not make those critical mistakes, and ultimately learn how to finish. And when we put all those pieces together, we're going to be a pretty good football team.
Who do you have this week? And give us a scouting report on who you play.
Well, we're home against Hobart, and Hobart's having a good season. They they're they got good size, they got got good skill, good speed. Just they throw the ball around, they run the ball effectively, they run the ball well defensively, tackle well, and they got a solid kicking game. So I mean, Hobart's a solid program, and we're going to have to match that every step of the way if we expect to compete. So, we're having a good week of practice so far, and our kids I think are thinking positive and starting to believe a little bit. So, like every week we talk about, why not us? Don't let what it says on somebody's jersey beat us. We have to go out there and be at our best.
Got to believe, don't you?
Sure. I mean, everything, where you talk about going to the moon, or anything great that's ever happened in history, D-Day, all that stuff. It all started with a belief. Difficult challenges that, not that winning a football game is like going to the moon or the D-Day landings,
hard,
but you're dealing with kids and the thought processes that are behind what we're doing, and the fact of the matter is we play a tough schedule, and we're trying to climb the ladder. And the most important part of that, like I mentioned earlier, is caring and believing, and I think we're starting to do that.
Give us a report on the younger Cougars. How's everybody down below the varsity level doing?
Well, we just have a JV team this year, and they're doing pretty well. They beat Andrean the other day. It was, I think, 43-8, something like that. So, we got some good young players. Yeah, and you'd think that on our varsity team, if you look at our lineup, we got some sophomores that are starting. So normally you think, well, if your best sophomores are playing varsity ball, then that might strip your JV down a little bit. But our JV team is strong. So, we got some good young players that bodes well for the future, and we got some good young players playing varsity right now. So just keep those kids developing and keep them believing, and get some positive vibes in the program, and all things point in the right direction.
Kirk, we appreciate you coming down, and be careful going back. You might have some detours
going
back through Rensselaer. So
some of those roads I took, like I said, I was following somebody and just took a leap of faith they were coming to Rensselaer, but I don't even think GPS would help me.
Thanks, Al. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks for having us on.
Kirk Kennedy from the Kankakee Valley Cougars. Back to wrap things up with John Ewing from the North Newton Spartans right after this.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
24/7 Club Fit is a 24-hour keycard accessed fitness center located in downtown Rensselaer. The 8,000 square foot facility offers free weights, weight machines, and a large variety of cardio equipment. We also offer free aerobics classes. 24/7 Club Fit offers 6-month contracts starting as low as $25 per month for students. Those 55 years and older, and there are no sign-up or keycard fees. We also participate in the Silver Sneakers program. Call 219-866-0033 or contact us on Facebook. 24/7 Club Fit, where time is no excuse.
wrap things up, the cleanup hitter, John Ewing from the North Newton Spartans. John, good to see you again. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Cleanup hitter is only – we don't get out of practice till 6, so I get here a little later than everybody else.
That's okay. We're wait around for everybody. We're fine. So anyway, 6. And don't you get out of school like at 2:30 or something like that?
Yeah, we run study tables, and our kids lift during the week too, so they get their work in before we go down to practice.
Oh, okay, I see. All right, well, you played Lake Station last week. Tell us the final score and tell us about the game.
Yeah, it was 20-6 was the final score. We went into halftime 0-0, which after our first 2 weeks was a big plus for us. I think defensively we played a pretty good game. Offensively, we were able to move the ball. Just shy of 250 yards of offense for us, which was a big deal. The thing that really hurt us was just we kept hurting ourselves. 17 penalties, 13 bad snaps in the game.
It's got to pull your hair out as a coach for 17 penalties, don't you?
Well, and we talked about this, right? We talk about trying to be elite every week and resetting the standard of what North Newton football is. And it's just for us, that stuff can't happen, right? I think a lot of those mistakes were just kind of bonehead errors, and ultimately it falls on me as a coach, though. Obviously I'm allowing that at some point, or they think that I'm allowing that at some point, so they try to get away with it in practice maybe. So we've refocused this week and try to put our best foot forward for this Friday.
So let's go through the second half then.
Right. So in the second half, we they had some athletes up there. They had a quarterback who probably the best athlete on the field. I mean, that kid was electric when he put the ball in his hands, and a lot of zone read, a lot of wide zone read. They definitely like to get him outside in space and see what he can do. The old Pat White, Denard Robinson, Rich Rodriguez style of offense, and he was good. They had a really good defensive lineman. I don't know if he's gotten any offers or looks from the college level, but he's every bit of qualified for that. He was really talented, and we struggled with him. But for us defensively, we gave up 2 touchdowns with 10 kids on the field. And once again, that's the organizational stuff. And anytime you've got a first-year head coach, I don't care how much experience you got, trying to schedule stuff down the coaching staff. There's always going to be a few hiccups, and we're running into ours. And luckily for us, it's happened in week 3 and not week 10.
Right.
So we'll get there. I have no doubt about that. But anybody who thought this was going to be a quick rebuild at North Newton obviously didn't know what they were looking at.
Rebuilds never are quick, are they?
They're not. They're not easy either. They're
no
mentally
kidding.
Taxing, and the stress levels are high sometimes. That's for sure.
Anybody play well for you last Friday?
Yeah, Caleb Johnson had a really good game, offensively and defensively. We were just shy of 4 yards of carry. Defensively, he led us in tackles. I'm spacing his number off the top of my head, but he's a kid who we rely on as a senior, and he's a heck of a football player. Alex Miller had a really good game coming off of an injury. He had some lower back pain and maybe some spasms going on there, but he was able to kind of tough it out in a time where we needed him. He had a kick return for a touchdown. That was our 6 points. Couple of pass breakups and almost had an interception, but we'll take the breakup instead. It still stopped the touchdown. That's what matters. Those 2 guys, both seniors, we're going to miss them in the future, but right now we've got our hands on them, so we're going to get everything we can out of them.
Well, as you well know, this is rivalry week in Newton County, North against South. Your first experience, what are your thoughts on the game?
Right.
Tell us about South Newton, too.
Yeah, South Newton's a really good football team.
Score a lot of points.
They do score a lot of points. They scored a lot of points against the Lake Station team that we weren't able to put away. So, we're not going to be shy about it where we're at and understand it. I don't necessarily believe in the transitive property when it comes to football, but we got to understand that our like opponent, we didn't play our best game, and they played a really good game against them. We're able to put up a lot of points. They move the ball. They're not afraid to throw it. We're not either. So it may be a long one if you're on the radio broadcast up there, but offensive line, I feel like they've got some really good size, and they're able to protect pretty well. Defensively, they like to bring a lot of pressure. They've got playmakers all over the field offensively and defensively. For us, I think we match up pretty well. We gotta get into our rhythm early, though. Once we get into our rhythm, I feel like we saw it last week. We hit our rhythm. As long as we don't make our mistakes, like we did in the past, we'll be in good shape, and I feel like we can play with them.
Biggest game of the year, you think, so far?
So far, for sure. We match up really well. rivalry. Like I said, there's a trophy on the line, and our guys want to bring it home. I'll say that. They want to bring it home.
You're at the third way pole here of the season, third of the way in with 3 games. Where's your program at right now?
So, we talked about being in a rebuild. Unfortunately, we're 0-3. It's not where we want to be, but that's our reality. And the beautiful thing about our reality is we're able to change it as we move forward. So we've got 2 more legs to go before these things officially start to count. We're moving into the Midwest Conference as well. We haven't played a conference opponent, so 0-3 doesn't really hurt us in any of our goals of getting to the conference championship or winning a sectional or moving past that. So while 0-3 isn't where we want to be, it's not the end of the world for us. It doesn't stop us from any of our goals so far.
John, thanks for coming over. I appreciate it, and good luck this week, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
John Ewing from the North Newton Spartans, back to wrap things up on the Coach's Cage right after this.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Anders Water Conditioning in downtown Rensselaer is here for all of your water supplies and softening needs. At Anders, we sell and rent water softeners, water coolers, and have all of your bottled water and salt needs too. Call Chuck to set up your consultation today. 219-866-7430. Anders Water Conditioning, family owned since 1991.
If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Masters to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to go to satisfy your hunger needs. Takeout is also available by calling the Wagon Wheel at 219-866-9942.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Coach's Cage to wrap things up. We sure appreciate the coaches coming in and chatting. Appreciate all our sponsors making the show possible. Thank Arnie's for providing the food and drinks here tonight for our coaches and our food and drink for us too as well. And Scotty Miller doing a great job engineering and running the camera tonight, that's for sure. Hey, it's our bye week this week on 3KG. We will not have a game on Friday night. And next week we'll have South Newton at Tri-County. So next meet up with you guys again next Wednesday for the Coach's Cage show. And for Scotty Miller, this is Bob Kurtz from Arnie's. So long, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.